the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson. With me, oh, you know him, Shaquille O'Neal. You know this guy too, Kenny the Jet Smith. Tonight, it'll be the New Orleans Pelicans up against the Los Angeles Clippers. For the Clippers, they come in off the loss to the Mavericks. They got caught flat-footed, lost a game they felt should have been theirs. Looking to turn the page here. And we get to see the Brow in action tonight. Scary that it's still so early in his career. Kenny, just how good can Anthony Davis get?
Well, he's
Look
dominant.
at that brow you got right there.
Oh, my.
Whoa,
I have a double brow.
Man, that thing has
a duo
taken on
brow?
a life
I have
of
a
its
double
own.
brow. I have a
duo brow.
Yeah. It
It
does.
weighs about 14 pounds.
It's
doesn't
thick,
it?
though. It's thick, but it's a duo.
Anyway, AD.
Well, anyway, he's dominant in almost every aspect of the game. A big guy who can handle the ball. He can run the floor. He can shoot jump shots. He can defend. And he's a force anywhere you put him.
I want to see how smart you guys are.
Okay.
If he was a reptile, which reptile would he be?
Oh, a raptor.
Ernie?
If he were a reptile,
what would he be?
he'd be,
Taking too long, Ernie. He'd be a versatilian.
Ooh.
Team should be nervous of what he can do in 3 years. You like that?
Versatilian.
That
like
is.
that.
I'm surprised that you've waited this long to break that one out. A versatilian.
Dr. O'Neal, baby.
Okay.
Amphibious.
Kevin Harlan, it's all yours.
Yo, Pierre, you want to come out here?
We're coming at you from beautiful New Orleans, Louisiana, as the Pelicans prepare to take the court. Along with Greg Anthony, Brent Barry, and our sideline reporter, David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Today's game marks the continuation of the Clippers' road schedule. There's no question this game will put them to the test. Facing off against a team that has every expectation of beating them, they'll need to play a complete game to snare a win.
And when you look at the Clippers, so far it looks like the adjustments they made in the offseason aren't going to produce the desired effect.
Lots of season left to go, so maybe a little too early to say that. The results have been anything but positive early on, but we've seen plenty of teams dig themselves out of big holes after early season woes.
And David Aldridge is standing by for our pregame report. David, good evening.
Well, guys, you remember that Anthony Davis had a growth spurt in high school that took him from a 6'2 guard to a 6'10 big man. Now, he remembered telling his mother, I can't fit in my bed, I can't fit in my shoes, I can't fit in these jeans you brought me. And her saying, I just bought those 3 weeks ago. Kevin?
It's all paid off in the long run, though. Thanks, DA. Now, about midway through the season, a couple teams starting to slide. And they're desperate to turn things around.
But does that mean, Kevin, desperate means you've got to make a bunch of changes, or do you go back to some of the things that had you in a position where we were talking about you in a positive manner?
Well, you want to remember your mission statement, don't you? What did we begin the season with?
Right. What did we come out of training camp?
Yes.
What was our mantra coming out of training camp? And maybe late November into early December, we won 7 to 10 games. Well, guess what? Break out that film. Let's sit down. Let's talk about it. Let's show some of the highlights of what we're capable of doing.
Go back to what we wanted to be.
And then bring it into the next game and show that you're capable of doing it again.
Agreed. Here are the starters for Los Angeles. Gallinari and Harris, your small and power forwards. Beverly and Williams, the guard tandem. And it's Gortat in at the 5.
Such a dynamic scorer, inside, outside, it really doesn't matter. Lou Williams is a huge threat to score, especially coming off the bench.
Now here is Holiday. Here's Davis. They get it back. Gallinari against Mirotic. From deep, more. The Clippers grab the miss. They come into this one following the loss to the Mavericks.
Yeah, and some of that loss was due to a lack of hustle, especially on the defensive end.
And there are games where an opponent gets aggressive. You got to raise your level of play. They failed to do that in this one.
Wasted no time on that one. Mirotic has got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. And Beverly kicks to Gortat. Dishes it to Harris. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
And Tobias Harris had his best season in 2018, a career year from the three-point line. And you saw how much just his value jumped in that time frame. A key piece and a key part of the trade last year with Blake Griffin.
And the first one at the line is good. And guys, Clippers coach Doc Rivers calls Harris a nightmare matchup. What do you think?
Well, especially when he slides from the three over to the power forward spot. He spaces out the floor and then can put the ball on the deck, on the drive, get in and create some opportunities.
And Harris drops them both.
Looking comfortable there from the line. Knows he needs to come through for his team at the charity stripe.
Gallinari with the steal. Beverly finds Harris. And Davis sends it back.
Love that D from Davis. Rises up and swats that shot away.
And he uses the glass on the layup. Moore's got his first basket.
It really does make the game easy for your teammates when you can lead them to the rim that well with a pass.
And Williams, here we go. Score the basket, his second of 2 attempts.
Well, you deserve that kind of treatment if you're going to get up in Lou Williams like that. Terrific at getting to the rack.
Holiday against Beverly. Fade away. And Davis can't get it to go.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
Yeah, and something we always talk about, though, shot selection.
Well, being aggressive is one thing, but aggression with control is another, and you need both elements working together.
Just reliable, guys. He's just always trying to make the right play.
And with Anthony Davis, you look at how young he is still. I mean, scary to think that his best games are still ahead of him. Not just this year, I'm talking like 3 or 4 years from now. He could honestly be the best player in the league in a short time.
One shot.
That one misses for Davis. And with Davis's prime just ahead of him, just what do you think his ceiling might be, Brent?
I don't know. 28 and 11 the last few years. His upside seems to be nightmarish for any opposing coach. I wouldn't be surprised to see him have multiple years of 30-plus with 12 or 14 rebounds. There's simply nothing on the court that AD cannot do.
That's good from Harris.
This roster for the Clippers is in transition, no doubt about it. You think of the franchise's history, plenty of dysfunction, but over the last 5 or 6 years, they've been the best team in LA. Now it's a time for them to reset, try to find some new stars to carry it forward.
Passes it to Beverly. Horton with the ball, out defended by Randall, and that one's good. Beverly.
And the story here, Kevin, early on is how well they've shot the basketball.
And Brent, you look at the Clippers ownership group, the front office, the coaching staff. It's a different story now from days past, isn't it?
Well, it just feels a little bit more stable. It just feels like they want to compete at the highest level, and they will do the things necessary to commit to winning. And we've seen that happen pretty quickly for the Clippers.
And the basket by Harris.
And doing their best to maximize possessions, just staying focused with this lead.
Well, it isn't much, but they've been able to capture some of the momentum of this game and increase their advantage.
And first time out of the game called for New Orleans. The last time these two clubs came together was also in this building, with an unfortunate ending for the home team.
And that was an ugly loss for them last time playing these guys, and really the rebounding differential was the key.
Yeah, it was very poor, their performance on the glass. And it wasn't the only reason they got blown out as badly as they did, but it was the biggest reason.
Holiday gets the bucket.
Great focus from Drew there. The D was all over him, but it didn't seem to affect his focus. Gets that bucket to go.
Beverly, the pass to Gallinari. Knocks it loose. Clippers moving the ball around. Randall against Beverly. Just 5 to shoot. It's good. Beverly's got 5 now.
Defensively, giving up far too many open rhythm looks.
And more kicks to Mirotic. Right block shot. And all around the rim that time before dropping in. 5 points in the game.
You can see Mirotic with that wry smile on his face, enjoying sticking it to the defense that time.
Here's Harris, and that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. That one on Davis.
Last season, the Pelicans took a huge step in the right direction and made it to the conference semifinals despite losing DeMarcus Cousins before the playoffs even began. So a lot of positives came out of that late season run with AD leading the way for the Pelicans.
That's good from Harris. And for the Pelicans last season, the most successful for the team since the name change.
Yeah, how about that? 48 wins last year for them in the Western Conference. They swept the Blazers in the first round of the playoffs and just showed how dangerous they could be. Mirotic huge in that series for them, and they still have some areas to address, but the trajectory, the direction of this franchise is pointing up. The Pelicans a much better team last year than they've been in the past. Still have some areas to address before maybe they become a home court advantage team or a top 4 seed. But the number one thing is they've got to get some more consistency in their outside game.
And here's Beverly following the 3 from Nikola Mirotic. To the middle, it's stolen by Randall. Right side Holiday. More in the corner. A 3-pointer off the mark. Well, the 3 is king right now, and spacing can be a problem for the Pelicans.
Well, the team knows they only have a handful of dead-eye shooters. They were in the bottom third for threes taken last year. They play to their strengths, which is a good thing, but in order for them to take the next step, it's got to be some dynamic play from the perimeter.
Nobody even close to him, and he can't believe he doesn't knock it down.
High arcing shot. He lays it in. Moore's got his second basket.
Good touch on the inside from E'Twaun Moore. Never bashful about taking it right to the defense.
Williams kicks to Harris. Two free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
Alvin Gentry, one of the best offensive minds and coaches in this league. Remember just in the recent past about his time in Phoenix and then in Golden State. Now as the head coach of the Pelicans, and he's done a great job just speeding up this team, pushing the ball, and trying to find ways to put up points.
And the first one drops. And for the Pelicans, it took some time before they could implement Gentry's vision.
Well, now it's in place. It felt like a long time to get there, and they ended up making the playoffs and pushing it to the second round. And Alvin Gentry is a big reason why the Pelicans are one of the most exciting teams right now to watch in the NBA.
And Harris drops them both.
And they've been the more physical team offensively, seeking contact, looking to score in the lane, and getting to the line.
And Holiday kicks to Mirotic. Randall surveying the D. Yep, that one goes.
They're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
And he's got his first chance at the line here.
Numbers this year at the line below 70, so when he's getting to the line, not nearly as effective as you'd like.
Mind the lanes. One shot.
That free throw good from Randall. Brent, I'm sure there were times, and you've won 2 championships where you thought you were going to win a title and it didn't happen.
I'll go back to the first night that I thought potentially we were going to win a title with San Antonio. And that was in the 2005 finals against Detroit. We had come back home for a Game 6 that I thought we were going to win, and we did not. And sort of the pressure that mounted after that game to know that we were going to a Game 7 and had lost an opportunity where we really did feel coming off of Game 5 we were going to win. It certainly elevated the intensity of the Game 7, which we eventually won at home for our title in 2005.
4 on the shot clock. Count the basket. 10 points for Nikola Mirotic.
This is a guy whose mindset just never changes. Even when they're losing, he's always going to be aggressive.
For 3, Harris. Rebounded by Moore. Pelicans trail by 4. Holiday finds Moore. It's good. The assist that time from Holiday. Moore's got 6 points.
They are just killing them on the interior.
And so Beverly will bring it up for Los Angeles.
And that's his second foul already, and that's going to force him to tone down his aggression defensively.
Patrick Beverly grew up in the west side of Chicago. He said it was a pretty rough high school to go to, Brent.
John Marshall Metropolitan, and he was the head of a 1-2-2 full court press where he just racked up a bunch of steals. Can you imagine just not getting the ball ever over half court? That's because Patrick Beverly was up there playing defense.
That one is off.
Yeah, you just have to be more disciplined. I mean, too many fouls and free throw attempts for the opponent.
New Orleans making some changes here. Hill, he's checked in for Mirotic. Ian Clark comes in for Ejuan Moore. And it's Payton in for Drew Holiday. And Los Angeles will go for a different look here. Harrell, he's checked in for Gortat. Mike Scott comes in for Harris. And Baamute's checked in for Gallinari. And Bradley's subbed in for Lou Williams. The Clippers last season really proving the value of the new two-way contracts. G-League players who could step up and play a lot of time with the parent club.
I mean, the Agua Caliente, that's the name of their G-League squad, was huge last year as the Clippers pretty much became the lab rats for how these two-way contracts were going to work, how you move players up and down between the rosters. And Doc found some real winners last year that came in and started a ton of games for Doc Rivers, and their contributions almost got them to the playoffs.
Here's Beverly following the basket by Julius Randle. Beverly with the ball. 11 points for him in that last game against Dallas.
You know, every coach should show players game tape of how he just boxed out right there. Great job with the footwork and using his body to step to the rebound.
Now here's Payton. They trail by 1. Clark for 3. Scott pulls it in. And Baaumute dishes to Beverly. That shot is off target. That makes him 2 for 3. It's Randall with the drive. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. Hard to believe, isn't it, that a few years ago the direction for this Pelicans team was uncertain.
Yeah, and I like the fact that Alvin Gentry has found his way to put his imprint on this team. A lot of people not sure of how and if he could do that. He certainly has. It took some time to get those ideas in place. And the offense was never a problem with this group, especially with the way that Drew Holiday had such a huge year. It's going to be about some defense and some depth for them to push it a little bit further this season.
And it's tied up with that one. Second free throw, no good.
Well, with the departure of Chris Paul and the trade of Blake Griffin, the Clippers deciding on a new look and a new direction. The era of Lob City, I think, officially has come to a close.
Now here's Bradley. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Dallas.
And extending the D there, putting a lot of pressure on the shooter.
I think coaches right here are always talking about the extra pass. And a contested three is not your objective. One more, maybe.
Scott against Randall. And there's a whistle that goes on Luke Mbamute. That is his first foul of the game. New Orleans making a switch here. Miller's checked in. Payton outside. 6 to shoot. Back to Miller. The tray. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. And from 2011 to 2017, the Lob City Clippers, as they were called, 50 wins or better pretty much every year.
It was a great team. It just did not have the kind of luck, and trust me, there is luck involved, needed to get themselves to an NBA Finals. A record 6 straight playoff appearances for them. Took a series lead, only to be eliminated, and then a lot of frustration set in because things didn't go the right way. And now a lot of guys not here for the Clippers moving forward.
He's off on the first. 5 years from now, who do you think will be the best player in the NBA?
5 years from now, the best player in the NBA will be
Antetokounmpo? I'm going to go.
Wow.
I'm going to go and just say that right now.
You think he'll be the best player in the league?
If he does not get injured, I think he'll be the best player in the NBA. 5 years from now.
Okay, that sounds good.
Give me another name.
Is Joel Embiid going to be
like
the
that
man in the league?
I like that if he stays healthy. Of course, you can say that with anybody.
You can say it with anybody, but Joel Embiid might just be that guy.
Special talents. Here's Clark. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. Ball's knocked loose. Now here's Beverly. Outside, Scott. He kicks it to Bradley. Top of the key. And that one goes long.
Yeah, bad shot there. Trust is lacking. You got to be willing to make the extra pass.
Yep, just too anxious to try and make something happen out there. This is about the team, not about you.
Now, here's Mbamute. Pass to Bradley. This one for 3. Here's Harrell. It's good, and he makes his first shot of the game.
And, guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
Payton passes to Randall. Kicks it to Clark. That one off the back iron and out.
Shots like that drive coaches batty. I'll be shocked if he attempts that shot again.
Out of bounds, Clippers ball as the Clippers keep possession. Beverly against Payton. Now here's Beverly. Tight defense on him.
Well, that height and the length from the point guard position is pretty rare, and he uses them very well on defense.
Los Angeles leading by 3. Here's Bradley. Draws contact on the shot, and now a 3-point play chance as he'll head to the line.
What a play there. The hoop plus the harm.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
And just a top-notch free throw shooter this year, all the way up there at 88%.
That free throw good from Avery Bradley. Brent, a major pivot for the Clippers last season, trading away the most important player in franchise history, Blake Griffin.
Well, the front office made mention of sustainability and production over cost, and felt like it was the right time for them to move on. The size of that max contract, the injury risk of Blake Griffin and what's happened and transpired the past couple of seasons convinced them that they might be able to clear that out of the way, get some flexibility, and rebuild the roster in the way that they wanted to moving forward. This is a quarter that he would love to forget as soon as possible, not getting anything to go.
Here's Clark. He's just scored his first basket with that shot, making him 1 for 4.
Oh, that's some fancy ball handling right there. Since when does he take guys off the dribble?
19 seconds left in the first quarter. Payton against Beverly. And there's the pass to Harrell. The 10-footer. That shot off. The basket's coming early and often in the first quarter. The Clippers on top, leading by 4. And we'll get things started in the second quarter when we return. And if you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter in this one. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Clippers?
Through that first one, they've turned this thing into a track beat.
Love the pace they're playing with. Anytime you can get your offense going without the defense setting up, got a huge advantage.
Pelicans trail by 4, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. So for the Clippers right now, we've got Mike Scott, Patrick Beverly out there with Avery Bradley. Then it's Montrezl Harrell, and it's Mbah a Moute in at the 3 slot. Davis battles through traffic and lays it in. Davis has got the opening field goal of the second quarter for New Orleans. Beverly against Payton. Right side Bradley. Down low. Scott kicks to Beverly. Just 5 on the clock. And here's Bradley from 3. That one drops, and he's now 2 for 5.
You got to keep an eye on Bradley, especially when he's looking to pull the trigger from deep. Better when he has his feet set.
Payton finds Davis. Some nice passing here by New Orleans. On the wing, Hill, defended by Scott. On its way from Clark for 2. Will not go. This is off the front iron. To the wing on the left. Beverly wide open. And again, it's the Clippers from deep.
Yeah, these defenders had better start closing down on shooters.
And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, guys, it seems every season new records are set for the number of three-pointers made and attempted. It's proven to be successful, and of course, it is a copycat league. It's hard to know why it took so long for everyone to catch on, but now that they have, the effects continue to ripple throughout the league.
They sure have, David. Thank you. Drew Holiday, he's checked in for New Orleans. Harris is checked in for Los Angeles. Williams comes in for Patrick Beverly. And so he'll bring it up for New Orleans. Trailing here by 8. Following this one, they get to host the Mavericks. They'll find themselves in the middle of this string of 3 straight at home. Harrell against Payton. To the middle. Here's Davis. That's in, coming off an assist from Payton. 6 points for Anthony Davis.
You risk getting torched when somebody's open. Payton's skilled enough to find the open man.
Here's Harris. He's got 16. Outside Williams. Lets the 3 fly. That one doesn't drop. And it's the Pelicans taking it the other way. Here's Davis. The 19-footer is on the money. And now just a 4-point Clipper lead.
Beautiful execution from him, building off a great first quarter, looking unstoppable here.
And the Clippers decide to take their first timeout here. As much as Drew Holiday can contribute on the offensive end, Brent, with his scoring and playmaking, he's also a very capable defender.
Well, he's more than capable. He is one of the better defenders at that position. And the more years Drew Holiday has in the league, the more he's got a notebook of what it is guys like to do and the things he can take away. Great hands, great lateral movement, and last year showed up in a big way defensively for Alvin Gentry.
Moore with the bucket.
In the mid-range, rarely the hallmark of efficiency in today's NBA, but it is on point tonight.
Now here's Bradley. He's got 6. Guys, we've seen some excellent offensive output.
Yeah, great momentum for them offensively.
Are there any questions as to why this guy is an all-star? His ability to fight through contact and hit the shot is world-class.
Here is Gortat. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. To the middle. And there's Gallinari on the assist by Williams. And the Clippers lead by 2.
Phenomenal use of the body there to free himself up from the defender and get a clean look at the basket.
Holiday against Bradley. It's Davis on the wing. He had 25 points in the win against Charlotte. It's good.
Well, he hasn't missed yet, guys, and the defense is scrambling for answers to stop this hot start.
LA's gone 2 of 4 from three-point range so far in the second quarter. Gortat with the ball, picked up by Davis. Moore with the steal. Lets a floater go, and he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up. There's the foul against the Clippers.
Well, effective ways that E'Twaun Moore can score. He's had some very good shooting years, and is going to find his way to the free throw line here.
2 shots.
And they now lead as the free throw drops for him. E'Twaun Moore, someone, Brent, who bounced around early in his career, but has still found a way to be a big contributor.
Yeah, and I think that the fit for E'Twaun Moore, having AD, he can kind of stay in the background and get shots off where he's open, his feet are set, and you can see that trend in his field goal percentage that's coming into the league. Last year had a phenomenal year shooting the ball.
And E'Twaun Moore has always been a solid shooter in the NBA, Greg, and he's continued to grow in that department.
I mean, just look at the career numbers from deep in terms of efficiency. In the last few years, he started to take on more and more volume in terms of the three-point shot. Hasn't changed his percentages, though, at all. And I would give him the green light as much as he wants from beyond.
Williams can't hit. And here are the Pelicans. They've got a 12-2 run in progress. Here's Davis, and that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. That's on Marcin Gortat.
And AD was stupendous in how he caught the ball and just immediately attacks the basket. The D was not ready for him there.
Two shots.
And that one falls for Anthony Davis. And Anthony Davis, a great defender by most measurements, but you know, Brent, some feel his defensive development has plateaued the last few years.
He still gets a lot of blocks, over 2 a game for his entire career thus far, and he doesn't have the same impact that he once did, but you know, guys are shooting a lot more three-point shots, Kevin, so if you can find a way for AD to get from the lane out to a Steph Curry 28-footer, Alvin Gentry's listening.
Now here's Williams. He's coming off a 16-point game against the Mavericks in Dallas. To the paint, got a piece of it. And Mirotic kicks to Davis. And Drew Holiday, the bucket on the assist by Davis. And the Pelicans lead by 6.
Now Holiday looking comfortable there when he gets in close.
Williams passes to Bradley. To end the run. They get the rebound. Another shot. No good there.
And defensively, moving his feet there, staying right on top of the shooter.
Some defenses are okay with giving up the mid-range shot. In this case, they contest it.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Pass to Gortat. The 3. Pelicans pull it in.
That's just poor shooting right now from him, and I'm not sure why he's even attempting those kind of shots.
The kick out to Holiday. Back to Okafor. Inside. No good that time. Bradley with some nice D. The tray. Bradley with another miss.
Yeah, his shot just doesn't seem to be synced up right now. Here's hoping he finds it soon because his team is really going to need that production tonight.
Now Williams following Drew Holiday's three-point attempt.
And a tough game for the guys around him, mainly because his shot's been hit and miss.
And Mirotic kick.
Ooh!
Okay.
That's how you attack. Wow.
Is Davis competing in the All-Star Slam Dunk contest? I give him a 48.
And a great second look there. Another Unleash Chaos replay. Brought to you by the Under Armour Hover Havoc. Los Angeles calls timeout.
Well, Mirotic last year, it was the tale of two halves. It was the shaved year versus the unshaved year for him. Great start with the Bulls and played some very good basketball, and then struggled a little bit after the trade to the Pelicans, and then boom, all of a sudden was a huge part after Cousins went down. It was extremely complimentary to the fast pace and stretching out the offense with the three-point ball playing alongside AD.
Here's Mirotic. Tobias Harris picking up that last basket. Back to Holiday. From deep. Good on the three-point shot. Holiday's got 7 points.
Well, after a tough first quarter, it didn't get to him in any way. He's really stepped up here in the second quarter.
Clippers trail by 9. Brent, you're talking about Mirotic. The real Mirotic is somewhere in between.
Yeah, he's had a little trouble with consistency, but you got to look at what was surrounding him in Chicago with all the roster movements and the coaching changes, stylistic changes. So when he gets on, we saw this late in the year with the Pelicans and somewhat in the playoffs, he can be an explosive scorer. He can put the ball down and make plays. He can shoot you into and sometimes out of a game.
Now Holiday following Tobias Harris's three-point attempt. Outside Mirotic. 5 to shoot. With the fadeaway. And again, New Orleans with the triple.
Mirotic at his size being able to stretch out and shoot the three becomes a huge floor spacer for this offense.
Bradley kicks to Williams. And Okafor with the block. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Okafor. Randall's checked in for Okafor. And the Clippers making a change here as well. Beverly's checked in. Six on the shot clock. For 3, Harris. It falls through, making him 6 for 11 in the game.
Well, he's an efficient scorer in this one. Harris can hurt you in a lot of ways.
Pelicans leading by 9. Now Holiday. They picked up 24 points in their last one against the Hornets in Charlotte. Basket, good. Davis has got 18 points.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Taken away by Holiday. All by himself. And finished off by Mirotic.
And the best part of that sequence wasn't Holiday's steal, but his quick decision to push the ball and start the break. That's when the D's most vulnerable, and he took advantage.
Now, here is Gortat. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. Here's Gallinari. Randall with some nice D.
Oh, and the D did not make that any easier. Can't fault the shooter for missing. That's a tough shot.
Beverly against Holiday. It's stolen by Harris. Passes it to Beverly. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up.
And taking a look at some of the stats here for Mirotic. How last month turned out for him, he's right around 9 points a night, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. And he's really been pulling his weight. He's had a hand in some big plays here recently.
I think you look across the board right now, and he's just doing a much better job. The numbers bear that out.
That's good from Beverly.
One of the better perimeter defenders in the game, and in the golden age of scoring point guards, Patrick Beverly doing his best to slow them down on a nightly basis.
Looking who's out there now for the Pelicans. Solomon Hill, he's checked in for Mirotic. Ian Clark comes in for Ejuan Moore. And it's Payton in for Drew Holiday. The Clippers also making some changes. Montrezl Harrell, he's checked in for Gortat. Scott comes in for Harris. And Mbamute comes in for Gallinari. Here's Clark. And there's a whistle that goes on Luke Mbamute. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Another foul would give him 3 before the half. Something to keep an eye on, guys.
And so here is New Orleans. Payton finds Davis. And Davis throws it down.
Loving the intensity from the brow there. He threw that one down with some real force.
Beverly against Payton. Pass to Bradley. Looking to get back on track here. And Davis sends it back. And Mbamute can't get it to go.
And offensively, they've gotten stuck on the perimeter, falling in love with the jumper.
Back to Clark. New Orleans moving it around. Here's Payton. Avery Bradley pulls it in.
You know what? Those are shots you just hate to miss when you get those kinds of bunnies on a possession.
Here's Randall. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
And while we have a chance, how about the numbers for Davis? 3rd in blocks, 5th in rebounding, and also his field goal percentage is up in the top 5. Tremendously efficient at finishing plays at the basket.
And you aren't top 3 in blocks unless you're committed to dominating in that category. His awareness and hustle is off the charts.
Shooting 2.
Very impressive. New Orleans making a switch here. Miller's checked in. The first one falls.
No wasted trips at all. They're taking care of business at the line.
So 1 for 2 that time at the stripe. Clippers trail by 14. Bradley deciding where to go with it. To the inside, Mbamute. Great pass to set up the lay-in. Mbamute has got his first basket.
Now, this is something that you really want Pat Beverly to improve upon when he's distributing the ball. He's making everybody better.
Miller kicks to Randall. Clock at 6. The feed now to Hill. Over Mbamute. That's short off the rim.
I like the defensive effort. They did a good job altering the mid-range shot and then making the shooter feel a bit uneasy.
And that one's good. His second basket of 4, shooting 50%. 24 seconds left in the first half. Payton against Beverly. We've got 13 seconds left to play here in the half. Payton kicks to Randall. Over Harrell. And it's off the back rim. No good.
Well, the defense was right up on him, so electing to go for the fadeaway there to create some room, well, that makes sense.
And so it's the New Orleans Pelicans going into the break with a 10-point lead. Their shooting has been the big key. Their percentage from the field so far has been terrific. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thank you, Kevin. Elfrid, how big is defense going to be in the second half to help you get this win?
It's going to be big. That's what it's going to come down to. Defense wins games.
It certainly does, Alfred. Thank you. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, David, and we'll step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after this break.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to 2K Sports, the halftime show. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. Boy, we have a lot to discuss. A tremendous game we're seeing from Anthony Davis. He had 20 points, 2 blocked shots, and 2 assists. What did you think, Shaq, about New Orleans?
Hey, I'm so jealous of Anthony Davis. He just does things that other big men just can't do. Fantastic size and length, but that skill set of a guard, wow.
Kenny, what's your take on the Clippers?
Percentage-wise, they were in the low 30s. That's right, low 30s from beyond the arc. That won't get it done. Every team in the league now relies on some level of consistent production from the three-point line. But if you dug yourself a hole and you aren't a three-point shooting team, that needs to change.
And that'll about do it as we get ready for the second half. Let's take it down to Kevin Harlan.
Shout out to my man Joel.
Joel, what up?
We've played through the first half. Plenty of basketball, though, left in this one. We've seen a tremendous game from Harris.
Yeah, great job from him in that first half of drawing fouls and getting to the line.
Well, that is a great equalizer here. You want him to play that physical, but how do you do that without creating too much contact?
Here's Holiday.
Here we go.
Holiday and Moore, the guards. Solomon Hill is out there with Mirotic, and it's Randall in at the 5, down low. So that's the group out there for New Orleans. Now, here is Mirotic, 10-point lead. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Beyond the arc. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over. These players have been all about defense lately. Here are the steal leaders in the NBA this month. 4th, Patrick Beverley.
Really been fantastic defensively this run for him. He's had more than his share of steals, and now he's looking to get more.
He kicks it to Gortat. Harris outside. His three-pointer's off the mark.
Tough to hit that shot when the D is all over you like that.
Hill dishes to Holiday. And there's the pass to Randall. Yes, and it's Holiday with the assist that time. Holiday's got 4 assists now tonight. Williams passes to Gortat. Fires it up. And the shot is long.
Yeah, bad shot there. Trust is lacking. You got to be willing to make the extra pass.
Yep, just too anxious to try and make something happen out there. This is about the team, not about you.
Basket counts. And that's now 11 points for Julius Randle.
That shot was all about Holiday and his ability to see the floor and the open man.
Back to Beverley. Fires for 3. And the Clippers miss again.
And they just cannot seem to get it going so far in this half, missing their first 3 shots.
Bounce pass from Hill. And Holiday kicks to Hill. Mirotic against Harris. Some solid defense from Harris.
Wonderful defense, staying active around the rim and then really putting the shooter in a tough spot.
Hill against Gallinari. Unloads from 13. Count that bucket.
Gallinari so hard to guard from the mid-range area because of his quick first step to the hoop, but you can't play too far off him or he'll do just that, burn you with the J.
Mirotic's shot is off.
And he didn't punish them for the weak coverage there, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. That one is on Holiday.
There's something about Beverley. He seems to be one of the point guards who enjoys the physical contact out there, always looking for something.
2 shots.
That's good from Beverly. He's off on the second.
A good board there, Kevin, but overall they're getting slightly out-rebounded.
And Moore kicks to Holiday. Outside Hill. To the inside, Moore. Misses the baby hook. And it's Williams with the ball for Los Angeles. And following this game, they'll challenge the Grizzlies on the road at the FedEx Forum in Memphis. And that will conclude a 4-game road trip. Pelicans leading by 8.
Sweet Lou Williams came into the NBA straight out of high school. I don't think a lot of people remember that back in 2005. The former 45th pick has more than exceeded his selection spot over the course of his career. Last year winning the 6th Man of the Year award.
A chance here to get a quick injury report. And now let's check in with David Aldridge to see how Anthony Davis is doing. David.
Well, Kevin, I caught up with the head athletic trainer for the Pelicans. And the news is pretty good. It does not look like a severe injury. Of course, the schedule is getting extremely demanding at this time of the season, and that injury is only going to make things worse. Kevin?
Appreciate that, D.A. Well, it's never easy for a player to go through what he's experiencing, Greg, right now.
But it is something that happens to almost every player. He's strong enough mentally to get through it. This we know.
Sometimes off the court, you work harder than you do preparing for a regular game. He'll get himself ready to go. Look forward to when he gets back on the court.
Now here is Harris, following the miss by Julius Randle, and the call will be against Julius Randle. That is his first foul of the game. And the Pelicans making a change here. Okafor's checked in. Here's Williams. He has 6. And they call the foul, so he's got the one chance here to make it a 3-point play.
How about the focus there from Sweet Lou? Simply incredible at finding ways to convert through the contact.
Lou Williams last season dropping a career-high 50 points on the Golden State Warriors in a regular season game.
Well, he led the Clippers to that convincing win on the road against the defending champs, and you better believe he saves his best game for the stiffest of competition.
Free throw no good for Lou Williams.
And what sets Lou Williams apart right now is his confidence. This guy is a gunner who comes in and believes that he's going to score. He often does.
And it's the Clippers with the ball. Just 4 points. That's all they've given up here in the second half.
And you can sense things now starting to tighten up. Their offense has become unstoppable.
Right, big scoring run fueled by great game planning and really some great shot making.
Now a timeout called by New Orleans.
He does not look happy. Their defensive rebounding has been putrid, and they're giving up a ton of second chance points.
Now here's Moore. 10 points for him. Randle outside. Back to Holiday. To end the cold streak. And it's the Clippers with the rebound. Harris has got rebound number 5 here tonight.
Well, the team is still up despite him struggling, so hopefully he'll find his rhythm.
Now Holiday following the 3-point attempt by Lou Williams. That shot wide open. 14 points for Julius Randle.
Have to get out on him. He'll burn you from there repeatedly.
Williams kicks to Gallinari. On the wing, Harris. And the layup's good off the glass. Harris has got 26 points.
They needed a run desperately, and boy, did they come up big.
I just think it was a matter of getting recomposed, altering their game plan just a little bit. They look completely in sync now.
Pass to Holiday. 6 to shoot. Okafor inside. Gortat covering, and he gets the whistle for the 3-second call.
Not sure, maybe the pressure of the moment got to him there. A really careless error that might ultimately cost the team.
Some changes for New Orleans. Anthony Davis comes in for Randall, and it's Elfrid Payton in for Moore. Clippers trail by 3. And here's Beverly. He's got 15. Back to Harris. Kicks it to Beverly. On the wing, Williams, guarded by Holiday. Williams against Holiday. Takes it into the teeth of the D and converts the layup. Williams has got 6 here in this quarter.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
And there's the call on Lou Williams. That's foul number 2 for him. Okafor with the ball. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. And there's Davis. That's good on the assist by Holiday. And the Pelicans lead by 3. On offense, here are the Clippers. They're on a 16-5 run. And Gortat kicks to Williams. The teardrop falls in. Williams has got 12 in the game.
And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
Davis against Harris. Back to Payton. 5 to shoot. Floats one. There's the dish to Okafor. Williams comes with a double team. And we're going to have a jump ball. It's tied up there.
You two players.
And so it's New Orleans with it. The wide open look here for Holiday. That's in, coming off an assist from Payton. Payton's got 3 assists in the game. Clippers trail by 4, and the Clippers call time here.
Well, many people had some high expectations for Elfrid Payton when he was drafted 10th in 2014. His offensive game has come along nicely. He sees the floor. He scores on the inside. I don't think he'll ever be a perimeter threat, and defensively, he could be a little bit more active.
Darius Miller, he's checked in for the Pelicans. A big group substitution here for the Clippers. Harrell, he's checked in for Gortat. Scott comes in for Harris. And Mbaamute's checked in for Gallinari. And Bradley's subbed in for Lou Williams. And Brent, as you mentioned, as good as Payton has made himself with the ball in his hands, his defense is holding him back.
Yeah, and some of those areas of weakness are easily addressed. You just can't get yourself out of position by overthinking possessions or gambling too much. It's just not a good way to go. So as much as you're the lead guard with the ball, sometimes defensively as a lead guard you can set the tone for a defensive possession. Payton needs to learn that.
Free throw good, Okafor. And so Beverly will bring it up for Los Angeles. Passes to Bradley. Pass to Scott. Over Davis. 5 on the clock, and an air ball on that one. Way off. Payton finds Okafor. Trying to get open is Davis. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good. And now a 9-point New Orleans lead. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Looking to end the run. And Baamute can't get it to go.
Man, that's a clean shot, too. You got to sink those. He must be disappointed that he blew that chance.
Here's Payton. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
A moment here to see some numbers for Payton. How his last 10 games have gone. Averaging 9 points per game, 3 assists, and 2 rebounds. And guys, no question, he's a guy with some talent. But honestly, even he'd like to see those numbers improve.
From all the whispers that we've heard, he's been working hard on his game. It just has not showed up yet in the box score.
And he makes the first.
Well, we've seen indications of Payton and his all-around game, but we just would want to see the evolution of the shot come along, just more consistent from the outside. That's the next step.
He hits one, then misses the second attempt from the free throw line. About a quarter of the players in the NBA were born outside the USA. Brent, could that percentage swell to half within a couple decades?
I don't think we're ever going to get that far with foreign-born players, but it's exciting to see all the representation around the league. We've certainly had some standouts, and I'm a little bit sad that this year might be the last year we see one of the most incredible players, if not the best European player the league's ever seen in Dirk Nowitzki, probably retiring in Dallas after the year.
Los Angeles calls timeout.
And one thing they'll discuss are the defensive rotations. The other is in the matchups.
We're seeing very little help defense on the inside, and even when there is help, it's been ineffective.
And checking out the stats for Beverly. Over the last month, getting it done. 4th in steals, and his playmaking ability, unquestioned, one of the top 15 assist men in our league.
And back to what you said, top 5 in steals this year. Quick hands and great anticipation. Now here's Beverly. He's got 15. Here's Bradley. And that misses badly. Air ball. Pelicans leading by 13. Payton passes to Davis. Good on the shot.
I love the pace he's playing with, letting his offense come to him naturally and then building upon this lead for his team.
For New Orleans, they have made 10 of their 14 tries at the free throw line in the game.
One shot.
And that one falls for Anthony Davis.
And done a much better job from the line this half. They've gotten that percentage up over 80 for the game.
And there's the pass to Scott. Over Davis. Scott can't get it to go.
Yeah, momentum right now is against them. They're just going to have to figure out a way to ride this one out.
Got to be some consideration here for a different rotation because the matchups right now just not favorable.
Oh, no. He's the last guy you want to put on the line. You can just about book the points every time he steps up there.
Taking 2 shots. Shooting 2, gentlemen.
That free throw good from Miller.
And good job bringing that free throw percentage up here in the second half. Doing a great job at the line.
Both free throws good for Miller.
Yeah, and their free throw shooting has really improved here in the second half.
Payton against Beverly. Can they get it? That one misses. Good D by Payton. And there's the call on Patrick Beverley. So that will be his second foul of the game. We're in the bonus, and we'll go to the line to shoot two.
To the line for your Pelicans, Alfred Payton, taking 2 shots.
And he makes the first.
And this team will make you pay when they get chances at the free throw line. It's helped them pull ahead here today.
And both free throws good for Payton. Clippers trail by 20. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
And Mbamute kicks to Scott. Over Davis. Scott, good.
Mike Scott.
Pelicans leading by 18. Poked loose. And so it looks like the Pelicans will retain possession here. Let's take a peek now here at the league leaders in rebounding. Fifth on the list, Anthony Davis.
And you can't win games without rebounding the basketball. That's what has made him such an important part of what they do.
A minute 50 left in the third quarter. And there's a whistle that goes on Luke Mbamute. That will get him his fourth foul of the game, and due to the bonus, we will head to the line for two.
New Orleans, Alfred Payton, taking 2 shots. 2 shots.
First one falls for him. And both free throws good for Payton. Clippers with the ball. Now here's Beverley. 15 points in the game. Outside Bradley. Six on the shot clock. Fires the three. It's rebounded by Payton. Payton's got his fourth rebound with that last one here tonight.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
That's a show of strength from Holiday. Certainly looks like he got hit as well, but he possesses the focus necessary to sink the shot.
Now here's Harrell. Right now averaging about 5 points a game. He's off from 17 feet.
And getting a hand in the shooter's face, locking down that in-between area.
Just taking on the challenge on every possession. I love defenders who give nothing away.
The D just sagged off just enough, and no hesitation on his part.
To halt the run, and Okafor with the block. And he's able to get it back. Here's Bradley. Pelicans with the rebound. Okafor's got his fifth rebound in this one.
Well, his struggles are consuming the rest of the team here tonight. He's got to find his rhythm and find it fast.
The Clipper shooting struggles apparent. 37% from the field. And Mbamute kicks to Beverley. And the call will be against Darius Miller. That is his first foul of the game.
That's his first personal foul. Fourth team foul. Substitution for your Pelicans.
Here's Beverley. 15 points in the game.
Julius Randle.
Feeds it to Scott. With 2 seconds left, and that's 2 points on the layup. Scott's got 4 points now in the quarter. And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. New Orleans on top, opening up a huge gap. And let's take now this moment to bring up our State Farm assist of the game.
And how about the floor generalship right here? I mean, showing us why they're always in good hands when he's the man in charge.
Great hands, great vision. That makes great things happen for your offense.
And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. Setting the floor for the Clippers, we've got Patrick Beverley. Scott is out there with Harrell. Then there's Bradley. And it's Mbamute into the small forward position.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. It's going to be on Montrezl Harrell. Guys are slimming down, it seems, Brent, to play at a faster pace. And we hear more and more players are using a plant-based diet now.
Vegan-style players.
Maybe not quite to that extent, but they are certainly very, very cautious about what they're putting in their bodies.
I think we just hear more stories about some of the things that players are trying in order to get themselves to their athletic peak. And one of those things, of course, one of the most important things is the fuel that you're going to put into your body, because that's your only tool. So I think guys just pay a little bit more attention to how it is they're feeding the system.
That one misses. Here's Los Angeles now. And it's Bradley off the drive. And it's E'Twaun Moore with the foul. That's foul number 2 for him. Mirotic is checked in for Hill.
Substitution for your Pelicans. Nikola Mirotic.
Pass to Beverly. Randall brings the double team. And the call will be against Julius Randall. That'll be his second foul of the game. Gallinari, he's checked in for Los Angeles.
Danilo Gallinari.
Outside Bradley. Scott finds Gallinari. Bradley against Payton. Just 4 to shoot. From the arc. Out of bounds. New Orleans will take possession. Well, for New Orleans, shooting it up around 51%. They're getting good looks. Passes it to Randall. Back to Payton. Do you see a lot of player tampering right now in the NBA?
Well, how do you define it, Kevin?
Well, if a player wants to go out and recruit other players that may be under contract with another team.
I see that a lot then, Kevin. I mean, it happens all the time. Players talking about what are you thinking about doing, and about, wow, don't you think this would be great if we could get together on the floor in 2021. Let's try to.
But management doing it is a completely different animal.
Management cannot do it, although some teams have walked that tightrope a little bit to the point where they've fallen off in recent years. But the idea of players not ever talking to one another about the potential of being together.
Come on, right?
It's always happened.
And so here are the Clippers. And the Pelicans picked up 3 with their last shot. Here's Harrell. Takes the 12-footer and hits.
Oh, and he likes the mid-range, Jay. You have to get right up on him if you want to stop it.
Beverly against Payton. Left side, Davis. And it's Davis finishing it off.
There has to be some alteration in the game plan, but I don't think it's enough to shut down AD.
Beverly against Payton. Beverly, the pass to Williams. Back to Beverly. Offline with his 3.
Well, he got off to a terrific start from the perimeter, but in the second half, he can't seem to build on that early success.
Outside for Davis. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him. Davis has got 4 points this quarter. Los Angeles has gone 0-3 so far in the 4th quarter from long range. Back to Beverly. Clippers moving the ball around. And it's Anthony Davis with the rebound.
The defensive reaction time, it was just immediate on that one.
You know, sometimes the most important part of that is the angle that the defender chooses. That time, he chose wisely.
Now, here is Gallinari. He kicks to Beverly. Outside Williams. Sinks that one from the post. Williams has got 10 points here in the second half.
You know, you hear that A word all the time, aggressive, and sometimes just being that can turn your game around. He's been that in the second half, their go-to guy here.
Now here is Davis, and the foul on Mike Scott. And that'll be his third foul so far.
You know what? You've got to always be in control of your emotions.
New Orleans making some changes here. Diallo, he's checked in for Davis. Williams comes in for Mirotic, and it's Jackson in for Payton. And then for the Clippers, Marjanovic checked in for Montrezl Harrell. Robinson comes in for Lou Williams. And Gilgeous-Alexander is subbed in for Patrick Beverly. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Baseline J on the way. Yep, that one goes. And so it's Jackson who brings it up for the New Orleans Pelicans. So far in the fourth quarter, they've allowed just 6 points. And Moore kicks to Jackson. Around the world, Brent, we've seen the NBA take a role in helping youngsters learn to play the game of basketball the right way.
So incredible what Basketball Without Borders has done with the NBA junior program expanding itself. Last year in Treviso, for the first time, the NBA doing a combine for EuroLeague players so they can start a database of the older professional, younger professional players playing overseas. It's a global game. Adam Silver is doing a remarkable job of promoting the game, and we're in a great place, Kevin.
The first one falls.
Well, he's had ankle troubles and knee surgeries. Last season, a gluteal tear. And over the course of his career, injuries seem to be more of a part of what Danilo Gallinari's story is about in the NBA. Hopefully, he'll find some health this year.
Los Angeles making a switch here. Harris is checked in. Gallinari hits them both. And Gallinari an efficient score if he can just, Brent, stay healthy.
Yeah, the optimism seems to be waning with regards to that. Over his 10-year career, he's played about half of the games, and you're paying him a pretty good sum of money. That's a tough pill to swallow if you're an owner. But as a fan, you root for him to be out there and have some success.
Robinson kicks to Harris. Makes the most of the high percentage shot. Harris has got 28 points for the game.
Well, Harris at 6'9" is a big body, and the defense has got to do a better job of pushing him outside the paint.
Jackson has the open look, and another three for New Orleans.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Here's Gilgeous-Alexander, guarded by Jackson. Kicks to Harris. Inside, Marjanovic. Basket is good, the assist from Harris.
Well, for Tobias Harris to take this step, getting away from scoring and finding teammates to become a more adept passer, that's good signs.
Now here's Williams. Back to Randall. The league and players union, Brent, both have expressed supporting guys who express their views and social concerns. You like that?
Well, I think it's amazing the way the league has backed some of the avenues with which players have used their voices.
Embraced.
Well, extending well beyond just saying things, Kevin, because we know actions speak louder than words, and there are so many guys around our league that do important philanthropic work. But the fact that the league supports all of those things, the fact that you see Adam Silver show up at some of these events, or that there's press releases from the league office about some of the things guys are doing, there's amazing cohesion when it comes to the league and its players, because they understand that everything that they're doing has such a significant impact in the communities in which they live in and around the game with which we all love.
Well said. Clark, he's checked in for Ejuan Moore. He hits both from the stripe. For Los Angeles, they've gone 5 for 9 from the field in the final quarter so far. Down low, here's Harris, and the layup is good after a nice lead pass. Harris has got 4 points this quarter.
Well, the rest of the team has looked pretty bad tonight, but he's done a fantastic job of scoring the ball and carrying the load on offense.
Now here's Jackson. Back to Clark. Launches it. It's hauled in by Harris. Harris has got 6 rebounds in the game.
He's been a little bit disappointing in this game. However, his team has his back. They need a little bit more help from him.
Brett, they're always trying to make the All-Star game itself more competitive. Is that an important thing to do?
I don't think overall it's important to do it, Kevin. I mean, it is an exhibition, but I do like the attentiveness of the players over the past couple years talking about how it is they want to approach the game. It ends up being a high-scoring affair with a lot of highlights, but overall, it's not the most important thing for the weekend.
And that Unleash Chaos replay presented by Under Armour. Hover Havoc, giving us a chance to relive that exciting play. Up again, controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
Oh, how about the finesse there? Nice little gentle touch on the board.
And you know, when you have that gentle touch, those tip-ins are easy to come by. Here's Randall. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. Randall's got 16 points here in the second half. To the inside. Good ball movement here by the Clippers. Got a piece of it. Oh, and here we go. Jackson, nobody back. And the dunk by Jackson.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
Oh, terrific anticipation using the hands. How are you not protecting the basketball in that situation?
Here's Clark over Robinson. The rebound by Marjanovic.
And it's just one of those days, guys. He has just struggled to shoot the basketball.
Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Now Robinson. Shot clock at 6. Shot from 16. It's rebounded by New Orleans. Randall's got 7 rebounds in the game. Clark for 3. Rebound by the Clippers. Gallinari's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Harris drives in. And the call will be against Julius Randle. That's his 4th foul of the contest. Well, there's a lot of talk, too, Brent, about the age requirement for entering the draft. And Commissioner Silver has said it's a clear change that's probably on the way. What do you think the league should do?
Can you and I talk about a guy that you know quite well who in 1995 came out as the
17-year-old, I know
in
it.
the NBA draft? Kevin Garnett came into the league and handled himself extremely well. Now, for every one of those stories, we know there were other ones where guys did not make much of their NBA careers.
But then here comes the G League.
The G League, to me, is the huge key.
That's the equalizer.
A lot of these guys have a ripcord now for some of those things that transpired over the course of the last 30 years, where they can have a softer landing point to continue to develop, to continue to mature, and have an opportunity to make something of their NBA career.
Excellent explanation. And here is Los Angeles now, following the score by New Orleans. Beverly feeling it out a bit. And here's Holiday to the paint. Gallinari with the steal. Davis with the bucket.
So consistent down there. Davis just goes about his business, punches the clock, and whether there's space or not, he can still score.
Now here's Beverly. On the wing, Harris. He's guarded by Davis. And the Clippers miss again.
And they've only got a slight edge on the boards, but it just feels a lot bigger.
Holiday finds Mirotic. Goes up the baseline. And it's Davis missing. L.A. has gone 0-3 so far in the 4th quarter from long range. Outside Williams. Pass to Beverly. They are now showing NBA games in virtual reality. You and I have actually seen some examples of that. They can recreate almost any angle. Have you gotten a headset?
I haven't gotten a headset, Kevin, but I have watched it. You and I have talked about it several times.
Many times.
It's an amazing experience, and it will only get better. But I really think about if I was a kid growing up in Germany or Italy, and I had an opportunity to pull on a pair of goggles and to watch the game's greatest players from a seat at half court or the cameras that they set up underneath the goal at either end. What a fantastic way to be enveloped by the NBA game.
It's a cool view.
It's a very cool view, and it's only going to get better.
Yeah. So he gets them both. Jackson with it. It's Miller on the wing. Back to Jackson. Just 5 to shoot. No good that time. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. Miller against Mbahumute. That shot, no good. Good D by Miller. And so it's Rendell bringing it up now for New Orleans.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for New Orleans.
Tonight, they did a great job of getting everyone involved. They had the good passing, and that led to some open shots.
Solid play, definitely, Kevin.
And in terms of the season record, this is going to be their 18th win overall.
And after dropping game 1 in this matchup, they managed to take the second of a 3-game season series. No question, that's a morale booster.
And, you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for Davis.
Just a force on the glass, did a fantastic job crashing the boards and coming up with seemingly every rebound.
Now here's Jackson. Knocked away. Stolen by Beverly. Here's Williams. And it's Williams finishing it off.
Well, it's the golden age of point guards, and Patrick Beverly trying to show that he belongs amongst them. Great awareness on that play.
Miller, the pass to Jackson. There's 25 seconds left in the fourth. Back to Miller. New Orleans moving it around. Knocks it loose. Beverly against Jackson. Now here's Beverly. Williams inside the line. And that one hits back iron. So we see the Pelicans taking the W here. This game may not have been the most exciting we've ever seen, but you have to appreciate just what a clinical performance they put on.
I know their fans appreciated it, and we saw at times just stretches of excellent defense. Potency from an offensive standpoint as well. They were pretty much dominant.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Elfert, what was the biggest adjustment you made tonight to come back and win?
We turned it up on D. We got back to doing what we do and attacking the rim on the other end.
It all came together for a win, Elfert. Thanks for your time. Kevin?
All right, David, thank you. And that'll do it, folks. For Brent Barry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.